Workshop, um, talking about our VisualSign framework today. And um, this is a framework we just open sourced like an hour ago. So we've been doing it in little bits and pieces. But before that, it's worthwhile to explain like who who Anchorage is, and how we ended up building this framework. Um, so first, um, so Anchorage is a uh, institutional crypto platform, right? So we also operate a um, a federally chartered bank in the U.S. We have regulatory clarity in multiple jurisdictions, Singapore in particular, and we also operate a self-custodial wallet. As we have built more and more interactions for various blockchains, what we found was that we constantly had to take data that was coming in raw transaction form via Wallet Connect or via like other avenues, and convert that into something our users can see. And our users are other institutions. What that means is that they are the largest institutions in the world. They could be the largest banks in the world. They could be sovereign wealth funds. They could be large venture capital firms, your foundations, all of those sorts of things. So we had to build something that was clear to the user, and one of the primary goals of the company from the beginning has been to make sure the user always knows and understands what they're signing. And that's what drove us to build this framework as an internal tool inside Anchorage. And I'm Prasanna, by the way. I lead research for protocols over at Anchorage. So it's open source framework. It's chain agnostic. We want to build these transactions in a way that is human readable. Currently, only one wallet supports it because we haven't really told anybody else about it in an integration kind of a way. And this is really the first time we're really presenting this as a open source project that we want to build in the open. The core problem, like these are really the big problems, right? So we have the user risk, and we also operate all the signing, all of the assets are being protected by a hardware security module that our clients use. And also we we were getting a little bit frustrated that the ecosystem wasn't coming up with a cross-chain solution, and we thought we had to step in and build something. So quick show of hands, like if you went to a DApp and you saw this as your screen, would you sign for this? Like, looks pretty harmless, right? It's like fun times, whatever. But now you scroll a little bit further, and what you see here is by clicking this, you grant us a perpetual, irrevocable license to own your soul. And in many cases, like by just signing a blob, you just don't know what you're signing. You could be signing up everything, and many people in fact do, like especially in retail, who do not know what they're signing, and many people get drugged and they never come back to crypto. Um, and since this is a Ethereum conference, and our um, this is dApp developers. Like, we want to ask you, do your users know what they're signing? And would you like to have more control over the semantics of what they're signing, right? That's what we're trying to provide. And another one over here, which is, does this look familiar at all, this transaction? Um, or those four characters, or four bytes up there. That's the transfer that had $1.9 billion lost for Bybit, right? If that's what you're looking at, and you cannot tell between a $1 billion transaction is just as big on the blockchain as a $1 transaction, right? You cannot just like know, you know, like there are no trucks moving the money around, right? It's exactly the same type of bytes. And all things considered, it's actually one of the most common type of call data in Ethereum. It's just every ERC20 transfer like uses this. And yet we don't really have a way to clearly show that, even if you're using something like Safe. So how does VisualSign work at a high level? We initially built it for our own needs, which was we only, as Anchorage, we only trust hardware. And what that means is that all our users who are in a quorum only trust the hardware that has a secure enclave, and that's iPhones. So the problem was that every feature we were releasing, we would have to wait for App Store to approve it. So that was actually blocking our product velocity. So we needed a generic way to express any blockchain transaction, or even really any transaction, including our operational things. So we built this framework so that we could actually support EIP 7.7, EIP 7.12, eventually EIP 7.30. We have mechanisms to parse ABIs and all of these types of things. And we turned that into a visual representation. Our backend or our HSMs turn them into visual representation, and then you can endorse it and approve on the phone. The other thing is also we can actually express a lot of like really rich transactions with this UI, because we are displaying it on a mobile device. So not everybody else can do that, especially hardware wallets that are building this. And so we have built this framework to be decoupleable. Here's a transaction, Uniswap transaction rendered in our app, where we are able to decode. This is a little bit older version before we wrote the new framework, but the ideas are the same. You are able to create this detailed view that start out collapsed, so that you're not overwhelming the user with too much information. But if the user wants to, they can expand it and actually like know exactly the information they need. And I'll show you in a little bit what that looks like. What are the ways to integrate? You can parse the ABIs directly, but the problem is that because of various historical reasons, especially in Ethereum, people pack a lot of information into these uint 256. Like it's I forget how many bytes. It's 32 probably. And there's just a lot of meaning there, and there isn't a really good way other than to have a programming language to express that. And that's why we are building this as a product, basically for dApp developers to be able to express what exactly the contract is doing, and we're doing it in a decoupled way, so that if you are a aggregator, if you are something that needs to have a call data to another contract, you can look within our registry and not have to like communicate with all the dApps that you might ever interact with. Why not use ClearSign, right? That's a question we got from the beginning of the project. We didn't. We actually have an adapter for ClearSign. We could ingest the data for ClearSign, but we decided not to build everything around it, because we found we couldn't express all the things we needed with ClearSign as much as we could by literally giving you an ability to put your interface, Solidity interface, and just use that, right? So that's what we are building as the primary way to use this. But we could work with the foundations to also ingest ClearSign if that's if as a dApp developer that's what you have invested your time in. Talk to me and I can make that code available. It's not quite ready yet. But yeah, so these are a couple of limitations. I wrote this like a few months back, so they may have added a few more things, but fundamentally, you're looking at a static JSON versus a full programming language, and it's completely different. So this will always be leakier than if you've already done this. And yeah, I want to show you a little demo of how this works. I have recorded a video too, but I think just streaming the data might actually be faster. I'm just going to show you the video. Sorry, I had to restart my workstation. This is a previously recorded video of also this runs in a trusted execution environment in Turnkey.
Adding Solidity to add a new
So Turnkey
contract
operates
on
this.
VisualSign
Audio
Ethereum.
sources.
First of all, I actually
Yeah, so Turnkey actually operates this. What I'm demoing over here is actually a developer tool that I wrote for running it locally. How you would integrate with your wallet is we have a wallet integration guide too that I'll show at the end. Is by verifying that this reproducible binary that you can build and verify locally and run it locally. This this exact same binary is what Turnkey is running, and you can decode it and display it on before your users can sign, so that you actually know what they are signing. And I have a CLI tool. It's running exactly the same code the backend would use, and there's an output format called human that just shows it as a tree format so that it's easier to read. By default, it's a JSON format that your wallet can integrate with. But I also wrote a ABI JSON parser too over here, and I still have like 7 minutes. I think I can actually show you the actual Solidity interface flow. So you can ignore that for now. If my IDE loads. Oh no. Okay. All right. I'll just give it some time to load. But yeah. So this is a very simple way that like I was able to integrate ERC20. And every contract that needs to interface, get any information about ERC20, they don't have to go and re-implement this. Like if you are a Uniswap developer, you start with this pasting your interface inside this Solidity Sol macro, and you immediately get types, and you can use that to implement a visualizer over here. So can basically read the first 4 bytes and then start going through how to integrate that. I'm not going to go too deep into it. It's relatively simple once you look at some of the semantics of it. Yeah, I'm happy to take questions. We have like 5 minutes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Which annotations? These static annotations? Yeah. There's some stuff that you get automatically. The ABI JSON stuff, that was one exercise of like just automatically doing it. So what I have for that is what I wanted was like, how can I go from a JSON ABI and just give you like some defaults, right? Like, which is like, this is what you can get. Maybe a vast majority of dApps, that's good enough if you're not doing some crazy gas optimizations. And then maybe like some individual components, you will have to do some like additional parsing. And that is the kind of thing that we're like very early stages of designing that API, and we would love to get some feedback on how that looks like. So yeah, we're. I'm trying not to be super prescriptive yet till we get more feedback from devs. So the solidity to conversion to type is, we have enough samples that I feel relatively confident that you can probably look at what I've implemented with. So with something like uh, Uniswap over here, you can probably uh, see. So I have Uniswap and Morpho because they were complex, um, and so uh, you can do something like over here. There's just a lot of boilerplate. I'm not like super happy with, but I also don't want to over engineer it before there's like actual usage of it. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is like truly additional boilerplate that eventually we might just be able to like automate out and create some kind of Rust macro or something like that for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you solve this, it can be very useful because everybody gets the sign transaction. They don't know what they're signing.
Yes.
You can make it visual and make it like understandable.
Yes.
I mean, that's a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's what we're trying to do. Where I think we have a pretty good UX, right? So at least it renders on our devices, and we believe developers can kind of figure out a lot of the ergonomics parts of it. I think we have enough of a framework there. So would love to work with more devs on it. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. Sweet. Any other questions? Any? Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. We have the bug. We have the bug bounty. Sorry, I got carried away. Yes. And of course, this is not, like we're offering bug bounty. We're offering $10,000 for I think 5 different prizes across two tracks. We have strategically important contracts that we have picked out. Ideally, we can discuss on, we can figure out some way to like kind of divide up the work so that not everyone just picks Uniswap. But and then if you are working on some interesting projects that we should consider, we can also talk. We also have our ventures team over here. We can definitely discuss about, like, if you're bootstrapping a company that you might want any venture funding, and you want to bootstrap it with VisualSign. So day one you are actually fast tracked for institutional support. That's also something we can discuss, and that would probably go into like bottom up track that we're offering prizes for. Cool, thank you, and some contact information, and some couple of things. If you're building a wallet client too, I have a reference client implementation that's pretty lean too. But yeah. Cool, thank you.